Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show, Spin the Career Wheel with Nikhil Malhotra. Today, we have Dr. Christina Sambrock, Head of Recruitment and Student Mobility at Birmingham Business School, the University of Birmingham. Today, we are going to talk about the future of business and how a student should go about selecting the best business program for themselves. So come and join us for this discussion. Hi, Dr. Christina. Thank you so much for joining us for the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So, Dr. Christine, I was going through your profile and I could see that you have taught students in the business schools. You have been a consultant to the industry, a lot of big companies. So can you just throw some light around what had been your experience working with so many business students and business professionals across the globe?
I did work for a long time in the business school, and I worked internationally in Romania, Israel, the UK. But more importantly, I was an international student. So I can connect with your audience here because I got scholarships. And again, that's going to be a relevant topic on how you apply for scholarships.
Very important for Indian students here.
About 4 very big scholarships in 3 countries. So looking forward to sharing my experience.
Great. So coming back to the main topic of our discussion. So a lot of Indian students who want to study business look at UK as a destination. And traditionally, if I look at India, a lot of family-run businesses, they want to send their kids to UK to do a business graduation. Now, how do you think this student should select a university so that they can come back and add value to their business or expand their business globally?
So first of all, I think UK is a very good choice. And I came to the UK as well to study. It's really about developing the brain, but also getting experience. So entrepreneurs, students that come from medium or large companies will have a lot to gain from this kind of studies. But I guess it depends very much on the kind of business that they run.
Okay.
If they're right at the beginning or if they're in the first stage of expansion, what are the biggest challenges then? Obviously, something to do with leadership, learning more about the general aspects of business. So they could potentially go for a more general degree. If they are they're already specialized, they want to further specialize potentially, or they might look at, networking.
I think that's very important. Yeah.
Yes, so to meet lots of people from all over the world in order to be able to either export somewhere else in a different continent, but also to consider the kind of networks that we have, for example. So University of Birmingham, tens of thousands of business alumni all over the world.
Okay.
So that's a fantastic resource to tap into.
Yeah. So, and when we are talking this, I think the next question which comes to the Indian student is, there's a lot of buzz around London as a city. And how is it to study at cities like, say, Manchester or Birmingham or Edinburgh? Will a student be able to get the opportunities which they visualize that they'll get once they come and study in a UK city?
Yes, London is famous. Okay, I was a student in London.
Okay.
I was a student in Sussex, and I now work in Birmingham. So I can't tell you very much about Manchester and Edinburgh, but I can tell you a lot about Birmingham. It has, as the second city in the UK, it has very similar opportunities. In terms of both connecting with the industry, obviously, but also in terms of having fun. So if the students want the student life, great, they can have it. It's warmer in terms of people because it's more, people are nicer. But also I would say, which would be important for, I guess, parents, we have a fantastic campus which provides safety. Imagine 24/7 security. It's not the kind of moving around like it is, for example, in London. You're there in a mini city in a city, which offers a good life, a good student experience, but also fabulous connections with the city around. So if I were to send my son somewhere, probably not necessarily London.
Oh, that's a very big statement, and thank you so much for that. That was quite personal. Thanks. Now, so coming back to say academic decisions. So we have normally two category of students here. One who want to do an undergrad degree, and there will be ones who will want to do a postgrad degree. So let's talk about students who are in their class 11th and 12th now. They want to select a program. So traditionally, when you look at a business program, you what comes to our mind is marketing, finance, HR. Now, how do we expect a student who's as young as 11, 12, 17, 18 to select these qualifications right after class 12th? And what is your advice to such students? How should they go about?
We shouldn't expect anything from them.
We shouldn't expect anything from them.
We should let them make their own decisions. If I have very many students who say, I wanted to do marketing or I wanted to do finance ever since somebody taught me finance in year 8, or I've read about finance in year 8. Or if they now like numbers, okay, so somebody will go for accounting because they are obsessed with something, in which case it's pretty much guaranteed that they will enjoy their program. Again, a personal example, my son loves maths, so he's going to study maths. What will he do with maths after? We don't know.
Correct.
But we are sure that for the next 4 years, he's going to be absolutely happy studying that. Now, if they don't know, I would say a general business degree is probably a safe bet, because they might wake up to the reality, I don't know, in 2 years' time, that they are then passionate by something else, which they can either continue with the master's or potentially specialize with like mini credentials separately.
Correct.
For what is coming, I think in the next 5 years in terms of jobs market, I believe, and this is obviously my personal opinion, that it's going to be very much a combination of studying on programs that universities provide, but then doing something extra on your own to prepare for the kind of job that you have in mind.
And when you say on your own, do you think such subjects are also available within the university? Like I agree that what you said, that they can come and do a general business program, but will they have this opportunity to select their majors or some credentials, as you mentioned, in their class in the year 2 or year 3 of graduation?
So, for example, we have on the MBA, we have micro-credentials. So our modules, you can take just one of the modules. So somebody with 4 years experience, and let's say they graduated business, they start working, they realize that one area that they need to develop is, for example, marketing, they can come back and study just one of the modules in marketing.
Okay.
So yeah. I think in terms of career planning, will be very much finding the gaps and then filling them with these kind of good yes. credits.
Got it. Another question, which to the other category of students who do their graduation, who are studying some business program. So in India, we have nomenclatures like a BCom or a BBA. Okay. And then these students who have studied a 3-year business program, they'll come to me and they'll say, I want to do a job, and then maybe in a year or 2, come back and do my MBA. What is your take? What is your experience? When should one go for an MBA, or do they really want to do an MBA, or it should be some other degree, like some futuristic degree? There's a lot of buzz around AI. Yeah. So I'll come back. I'll still stick to my first question. Yeah.
I'll continue with all of those. First of all, the MBA is supposed to be a post-experience, and post-experience, i.e. significant experience, not just 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
So I would advise the new graduates to work more, i.e. at least 3 years, because if they want to go for good MBAs that are accredited by the Association of MBAs, so AMBA requires them to have a minimum 3 years experience.
Okay.
But it requires the cohort to be an average of 5.
Oh, interesting.
So, in other words, for every 3-year experience, the universities need to take 7 years.
Correct.
Okay? For example, for us, the average would be somewhere between 8 to 15, depending on which type of MBA they take. Okay, so
8 to 15 years of experience.
So if you have worked for only one, assuming that we take you, which we won't because we have the accreditation, imagine having a conversation about marketing with somebody that has been a managing director of a company for 20 years and you have no clue about marketing. How will that case study work?
Correct. Correct. And this is what a lot of students need to understand. A lot of parents needs to understand that just getting a degree is not going to help them. They need to understand the purpose why that degree came into existence. And I buy your point that at University of Birmingham, and I also know the rankings, I know it's a prestigious university, we are talking about an average of 5 to 6 years of experience a student must have if they are looking at MBA, if they really want to do justice to the degree they want to do.
And just to explain further, so if we take, for example, a 3 years experience, it would have to be somebody who's performed exceptionally in those 3 years. We need to see progression. So, okay, you started with a particular job, but then in 3 years you really advanced to a point where you can understand all of the facets of a business. Therefore, being able to have all those clever conversations with people with a lot more experience than you. Because you asked why would they choose to do an MBA? Either they want to progress very quickly in those senior roles, or we had many instances of students, actually quite a few of them from India, which got to a point in their careers where they said, now what? Will I stay here? How much can I progress? Do I want to progress in this particular area, or do I want to switch areas? In which case, I need to understand more about the business in general. So we had somebody, a very dear friend now, he's been an alumnus for 10 years, and I taught him. And he's moved from engineering to sustainability.
Okay.
We had pharmacists moving into marketing.
Correct.
We have, so it's a change of careers, but at a senior level.
Got your point. And I'll tell you what happens in India, just to give you a perspective. So in India, we have this exam called as CAT. And around 2.5 lakh students every year take this test to get into the top B schools in India. So the competition is massive for around 200 seats in, say, one of the leading IIM Ahmedabad as an institute. And most of the students are freshers. They are running for that competition to get into an MBA. So I think this is how Indian students think. So I agree that doing an MBA immediately after your education might not be the best choice, but there will be some students, some parents will say, especially to the girl students, they might come back and say, oh no, I think you finish your master's immediately. We never know what you will do after a 3-year or a 4-year of a work experience. And because of that insecurity, they will want to study something. Now, if not an MBA, what do you think can be a program which they should study?
So, as I said, the MBA is post-experience. It's post-experience because it combines theory with practice.
Correct.
And the insistence is on practice. So how do we apply one particular marketing theory, but in all of the sort of industries? An MSc insists on theory. So if you are freshly graduate and you don't know a lot about business, you first need to learn the theory.
Got it.
You go and apply it for a few years, and then you learn an MBA because that will insist on your practice. How do you then critically look at your practice to say, I did that wrong? Because look, somebody else who's a general manager told me that they did do it differently, so therefore I'm learning from their experience.
Got your point. So, and also, there's a lot of thought around the futuristic business programs. Like people are coming back and saying finance is going to be fintech, or marketing is going to be all about digital marketing. So, what is your take on that? How should students go about picking up programs?
Who knows what will be?
Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows. Yeah. Who would have thought that ChatGPT is going to be that amazing 2 years ago?
Nobody. Yeah.
So I would say, yes, you're right. Some of these areas will be predominant. And you look at the World Economic Forum predictions in terms of skills. But I would also say, look at soft skills. And we as university are one of those that develop them, including employability skills. So there is that kind of general preparation that we provide, but we also show the students the areas where the world is going, as much as we can predict.
Correct.
Obviously.
Correct.
And we renew the programs, we introduce new modules, we collaborate with industry to say, what do you need now? What do you think you'll need in 10 years? But none of us has the crystal ball to figure out what the world is going to be. So I would say develop their minds as much as we can.
Correct.
To provide that kind of resilience, flexibility of thought, to be ready for whatever the world is throwing at them.
Correct. Ready for the change, whatever
Yes.
the word might throw on them. I agree. I buy that statement. Yeah. So now coming over to Birmingham, let's come over to Birmingham and say, I know it's a Russell Group University. It's ranked, say, around 80th in 2025. We are in 2025. So what it takes to get into Birmingham?
Good marks. And I would say good people. Good people that know what they want as much as they can at that
Correct.
age.
Yeah.
So we do say we want to see the real students for example, in their personal statement.
Right.
And this going back to the ChatGPT, I advise quite a lot of students during some of the fairs that I participate. Please don't use ChatGPT for
any
for
personal statement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We can see it. So we need to see that kind of authentic voice. We need to know who they are. We need to know that we align with their values. Okay. So for example, in the business school, we have the ethos of the business school is around responsible business. So in your personal statement, you say, I want to be the mad capitalist who's going to enslave the world. You're probably not going to be very welcome. I mean, obviously, we want to make money, but we want to make money for the students to teach them in a good way.
Yeah. Got your
for a good
point.
world.
So one is, I understand you're saying that your last qualification performance will help them to get into Birmingham.
Yes.
A good personal statement will help them to get into Birmingham. There's a
Yes.
lot of buzz around profile building. So here in India, when you are in class 11th and 12th, there's a lot of buzz around, you need to do something into an NGO, you need to get some certificates, you need to demonstrate that you are doing some leadership roles, and students are busy too much other than the academics. So how relevant is that area when somebody is looking at an undergrad degree at Birmingham?
It is, in as much as that kind of personal statement with the extras will help you get a scholarship.
Okay, so that's all that is important when they want to get into the scholarships.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, as a student, they'd have to be different. They'd have to be different enough
Correct.
to have a USP to get that kind of scholarship. Otherwise, good marks, obviously, you're capable of studying for the next 3-4 years or whatever, and that personal statement.
Yeah. So we have also heard a lot around some sandwich year programs in UK universities or internships, which can be paid internships. So do you have something like that at Birmingham for business schools, business students?
There are various ways of getting industrial experience. They can apply for internships. So there's a pool of internships for students to apply. We, as a university, provide them with mini jobs, so, ranging from a few days to a few months, a few weeks. But also we have, because obviously we realize that the students need to get larger experience, and most internships are quite short. We also have a year in industry.
Okay.
Which means they do the theory for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
They go for a year in the industry, they work, they come back to sort of wrap it up and reflect and write their dissertation. Most of them actually end up getting jobs with the companies that they intern in.
They intern in at that 1 year. So,
Yeah.
so how easy or difficult it is for them to get into the industry after year 2?
Depends on the person.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
if you're, and we have two types of students. I'm generalizing now, but obviously, there are those who say, I'm keen, but then they do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So I quite like a job, but they don't go out to network. They don't go to events. They don't show that kind of sort of fire in their belly and passion to connect. And the others who do have it.
Correct.
So obviously the ones who are proactive, the ones who are sort of go-getters, go-getters.
Go-getters.
I'm Romanian, okay? English is not my
same with
native
me.
language.
I always am so conscious about my English. I'm with you,
There is an advantage, by the way, to being a non-native speaker. I always say to the students, you're clearer in your expressions. Those will get their internships, and they will also perform really well in that year in industry. And by the way, a year is a good number of months to work.
Correct.
Because I had feedback from the industry in the past when I led the programs in Singapore, where they said 3 months is not enough for us to get to know how good the students are.
Correct.
It takes a month for them to learn the ropes of the business, another month to sort of start doing stuff, and by the time they leave, it's when they are contributing, but then they're leaving. So longer internships will probably get them more results in terms of jobs.
And this is a very honest answer, because I tell you, we hear a lot of universities come back and say, oh, students can get a 1 month internship, students can get a 2 month internship. But the reality is what the industry told you, that really, even if I run a business, I know when we recruit someone, we need them to stay for longer. And when somebody has stayed with me for a year, most likely, I know I'll recruit this guy once they are back from the university, because we have trained them, they know the organization. So I think, thank you so much for a very, very, very honest answer. Yeah.
And I would ask, just if you allow me, if a student is absolutely brilliant and can do the kind of work that the employer wants, then shorter internships are okay. In other words, if you're the boss of the company, you don't want to spend a lot of time teaching somebody how to do something, because otherwise you'd be doing it.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there is a difference between those who already have absolutely all the skills to work in that internship, or those who want to develop their skills, in which case they need longer ones. So the employer gets some sort of return from this experience.
Got it. So another observation. So there's something like students are allowed to work part-time while they are studying in the UK. Do you think students can get jobs in small companies as an administrator or helping someone into the business roles, or it'll be just some odd jobs?
I think they definitely should. But again, it goes back to how proactive they are. So if they wait there with their arms open for a job to fall in their lap, it's not going to happen. But I say to the students, for example, you're in Birmingham. There are loads of entrepreneurs, lots of mini businesses. If they go and knock on the door of somebody and say, I notice your website is pretty rubbish and I do digital marketing, could I please advise you as an intern on what to do? For a business with 2 people, do you think they'll say, no, thank you very much, I don't need help? Of course they will.
They will,
so
yes.
Knock on doors. Go to entrepreneurs' conferences. Give your student card and say, I'd like to work with you.
I would like to help you.
And
there'll be so many small family businesses who doesn't have access to technology, or they don't want to spend, maybe because they don't have the right individual or a right company. And there is some student who comes and says, I'll help you at much lower cost.
Exactly. So if you then have that situation where somebody has helped you for a month, when they say, I want to stop helping you,
what will happen?
Exactly.
I'll say, no, hold on.
Exactly.
Can you still be a part-timer with me? Can you work from home? Just an hour for me? And they'll get a job for life.
And for a small company, you're going to learn quite a lot. So you're going to be sort of jack of all trades to help that company. So when you apply for a larger company, you say, I have experience in marketing. I have experience in a bit of accounting because I help them in accounting. So even if you don't have experience, at least you have an understanding of when you saw all of the operations in that small company. So it's a good narrative to have.
Yeah, good. So now coming back to the big question, why they all studied, is like, what is the journey like once they finish their graduation? Once a student has finished, an Indian student, what happens in UK after they finish their education?
In an ideal world, with the kind of students that we have, or we train to be, they should have a job pretty quickly after.
Okay.
But again, that depends on what they do during the studies. I do say to a lot of the students, please do not wait to get ready for the job market until the last, 2-3 months of your program.
Correct.
The journey of building your narrative and getting experience with interviews, with CV writing, with personal statement writing should start at the very beginning. So if they are master students, so they're going to be with us for a year, we have an absolutely fabulous careers network in the business school who provide one-to-one consultation, helping people to write their personal statement, mock interviews. We put on even extra career fairs to the University of Birmingham. So aside from the 4 ones that happen every year at university level, we have 2 extras organized where employers come to us to recruit students. We are the most targeted universities by employers. So in other words, they want University of Birmingham graduates.
Okay, interesting.
So if they come 6 times to recruit, do not wait. This is what I say to students. Don't wait until the 6th in the year because you are too busy studying. Go to the first one, fail, get ideas about what kind of questions they ask, go back to the careers network and say, this is how I messed up my interview, please help.
Correct.
So by the 4th, you know exactly what to say and how to sell yourself, between brackets, how to sell yourself to the employers.
Got it.
And not only that, but we also have, because you asked me about the what happens after. What happens after is, at university level, we provide 5 years of career support.
Okay.
But in the business school, we say it's lifetime. And that's pretty unique in the world of business schools. Considering where the world is going and how we're all going to change jobs, I think, this is a unique offering because it could happen even in 20 years' time when somebody says, I want to switch careers. How do I do it?
Correct.
Or I want to build a different business. Please help.
And this is what is happening quite frequent of late. Now, if I know a lot of my friends are talking, I really want to leave my job, come back and start something. So many of them want to change countries with what happened in COVID. People have lost their jobs and they want to restart. And I think something like this is a great opportunity for them to have. I think that's a good initiative. Yeah.
We've had this for a very long time, but I think now it's even more important because in the good old days, 20 years ago, people would start working for a company and then retire from that company. Now is 3 years in a company, 4 years, 5 years, move up, go somewhere else, change areas.
Correct.
If you are an MBA graduate, you have the leadership skills to move from one industry to the other. It doesn't really matter. So it's going to be a lot more change, and we need to be prepared for that kind of change and prepare the students for it properly.
And these days, a lot of students also, while I talked about family-run businesses, but I think a lot of middle-class students from India really want to start something on their own. So at University of Birmingham or at your school, do you have some support for students who want to be first-time entrepreneurs or who want to start up, some concept of seed funding, something like that?
We have an incubator, but we also have, so obviously you need to know how to do it. And there are lots of programs on entrepreneurship, including, now that you mention it, on the MBA.
Okay.
So if they have experience, if they worked for 5, 6, 7 years, and they said, I've had enough of working for somebody else, and now I want to work for me, then they can come and do the MBA. So they'll learn the general knowledge of a leader and the general aspects of a business, but also how to then start up your own company.
Yeah. So at an incubator, like how exactly it helps students? Like, are there networks? Can they help them to start their own company? Do they get some legal advice?
They
Because
have
Indian
personal advice,
students, if they want to start a company in UK, they will definitely need some legal advice to start with. How do they open a company? So do we get such
I'm
support?
not very familiar with exactly all of the operations of that part, but we actually have a lot of, including somebody who's actually from India who works for that part of the university. And I know there've been a lot of cases of Indian students doing exactly that. So being helped to open their businesses.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, so one last question, is when parents send their kids abroad or to any university, the first question is always around safety. So I know, while I know a lot of lakhs of students are going to UK, but still coming from you, how safe is UK or the campus for Indian students, so that families and mothers and fathers are very happy, at ease here when their kids are studying?
So first of all, I will start with any parent anywhere is worried about their children flying the nest and going somewhere else. And I remember my parents being super worried when I was 16 and I went to the US. So worried about my safety, worried about how I'll manage. UK is safe, and particular Birmingham, in terms of the campus safety, is one of the safest ones, because as I said, we have 24/7 security. It's contained. They're going to be surrounded by students, not by random people off the street.
Correct.
But I would say, this is advice to parents. They need to grow. They need to learn how to live on their own. So this international experience in itself is super valuable for their life. How to budget, how to cook their meals.
Correct.
In case it was, I don't know, the family doing it before. How to manage their workload, potentially get some work experience because they're allowed to work 20 hours extra.
Yeah.
How do you manage the studying with a bit of work, with doing your domestic duties? It's a good life lesson. And I think they will come more mature. They'll come back more mature and changed, or at least I did. And my parents were very surprised, but it's good. And then by the second or third program abroad that they'll do, the parents won't worry about that anymore.
I agree. I think by then parents would have visited the university themselves as well.
Exactly.
They would have seen, they would have lived that life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for these insights. And I think a lot of students and parents will be happy about the discussion we had today. Yeah.
And if they have any questions, they can always, I don't know whether you'll put my details, but they can email me and I'm more than happy to contribute further.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just put an email on the comment, and if they want to send you an email, or they can find your email from the website and they'll get in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you.